Hey guys, I'm just gonna start reading chapter 22. The scratches covered the master bedroom. Darren, with his hand over his knees, aiming the flashlight under the nightstand, half hidden in the bowl to the floor, stood safe. Griffin, with his first scene behind the counter, calm nerves, emporium of collectibles and memorabilia, safe him beside $1 million prize. Griffin pulled a blowtorch. His back proceeded, goggles and flint lighter out of his pocket. Give me some space, you guys. And he turned the gas on, sparking the flint, ignited the flame. Melissa had been staring in the front entrance at least 20 minutes more than she. Well, obviously, the situation seemed completely simple, but extra dedication. There were two magic sensors, one at the door frame and one at the door itself. The door opened, two separated lost contact triggered the alarm, so I'll have to take off the door sensor, the tape it to other unit. The problem was if she made a mistake, if her hand slipped and she dropped the component, it would get them all arrested. Melissa knew she was a whiz with electronics at home, but she built her own computer from a kit. She could do it with her eyes closed, even hand tied behind her back. But cheesecakes never has hired so many people other involved as such longer been, but being a part of the team whole no experiences for her. Maybe she should ask the others. Talk to Griffin. She thought she paper invented the person being in the ballroom. You've been chosen for your critical skills, and once you were chosen for your skills, you might need to go and prove yourself that anybody can belong on this team. He ran to the kitchen, beginning running around. She found the utility drawer near the top of the two items she's been sneaking. A small flipper head screwdriver roll on masking tape, and at the door she propped up the flashlight on the hall table of aluminum work area, and she ran the circle tape loosely around the components with a tension. Good with the gloves and tight were filtered, moved screws, hold the smaller contact from the door. It was free, held the closed masking tape. She was filled beyond belief, but her hands were rock steady. He was agonizing when she carried that attachments around, touching her partner door frame. Another complicated, held very tightly together. It was just enough for the open and closed door. So far, so good. She remained was so tested to unlock the thing. All turned on the knob and attached 6 inches blast of cold air. Powder going tonight. No alarm, no sound. Thrilled of triumph, she was so overwhelmed she could barely keep from shouting. If she had shouted, she might as well awaken Ben, who was 6 feet away, curled up asleep in the posted bushes like a feather bird. Luther, what's wrong? Savannah asked the Doberman. Teeth time was acting so strange. The dog went her trying to keep calm. Luther was very nervous. The Savannah prior herself from being read the animal's thoughts in the body which she could get. Luther was intentionally even more upset. He could shake his feelings. The creature was trying to tell her something important. Whining and twitching, Luther grabbed a sleeve and began dragging her towards the staircase. Okay, I'm coming. Don't pull so hard. It was an effort to keep her feet. She went towards the steps, her checkered tiles across the main hall, scrambling to keep up. She realized the dog had a very special destination in mind, a makeshift office near the front house. A closer look in the door in the jump year, Luther encouraged Savannah to play aid with her flashlight over the room. Almost she missed it. Stretched out, fell asleep. A small old with the largest German shepherd she'd ever seen, even as she watched a huge dog rise into a massive headed into the beam. Her eyes fixed were glowing. Savannah drive something she'd be afraid of. The animal had never been afraid of an animal in her life. Yesterday, her soft shepherd's eyes, coupled with whimsy and fear of the Doberman, and decided trigger split-second decision, slamming the door shut. The impact of the head body against the other side convinced her that she had done the right thing, and she held Luther's collar and stepped back up the stairs, full-throated barking noises throughout the house. She arrived painting in the master bedroom, where Griffin was part of the way through, burning the large hole into the side of the safe. Iron smoking hung into the air. The light glowed orange along the blowtorch, and Pitch sat on the bed, resting the injury of the leg, barking, and that Luther had began bewildered, fell on the gaze of the Doberman standing. Savannah aside. Oh, there's another dog, blurted Savannah. I think he might be a trained attack dog. Griffin looked up at the arm. Is it loose? He's trapped in a room downstairs, Savannah covered. At least I think. I can't imagine in a female that size. I'm afraid he'll find a way to break through the door. Can't you whisper him down? Darren demanded. That's supposed to be your job. Is in this time, Savannah insisted. There's too many people around. Sure, in his years he trained to protect. Plus, he could set off Luther. Poor baby turned fired off this off this monster sinking heart. His team realized their dog's whimper was right. Savannah's words punctured an accurate engine bark barking slams against the door. Nobody panicked. Griffin heard a few minutes before the safe will be the card. Melissa found a way out. The plane's track. Luther uneasy whimpers. We didn't think so. Alright, chapter 23. Gotta get to chapter 25. A few more pages, I would say. Chapter 23, the background. Graham turned him in 13 to 9. He was barking statemently. Listen to the racket. Marie complained. Leave it to Palm in there. He those two loudest dogs. In creation, Logan sprayed a mouthful of ginger oil. 2 dogs. The old man nodded in disgust. I thought Luther was bad enough a couple of days ago. Palm in here. Who rented used to make Luther look like a hamster. I heard. Got a baseball card. It's supposed to be valuable. There's nothing Logan could do until we continue this thing. And what might be going on across the street besides the reflection of the team had looked. Melissa in the bushes. They've got nothing too awful. Griffin would walkie-talkie over to her for help. Shining in the black SUV, moving slowly to the street. The driver hanging out the window slowly adjust numbers and passing Marley's house with a U-turn pulled over the porch bay. Excuse me, looking for 531 Park Avenue extensions, but Marley pointed to Pulmonary's home. That's where I can't see the blame thing on the street light out. The runaway showed federal crime. Thanks, the SUV moved away and pulled to Pulmonary's driveway and parked. Mr. Marie, Logan, the dice here turned. Logan, you look like you just seen a ghost. How much worse is it? Logan watching the driver get out of the car and walk up the steps to Swindle's front door. Griffin's eyes stunning from the sweat pouring down his face under the safety goggles. His shocking cap drenched while they're working with a blowtorch so many times he could never imagine how exhausting, or maybe exclaimed building he had flame with the last quarter-inch of metal, all thrilled incapably. Barely through the third remaining between the final realization the great plan would ever be a plan. It was so many things at once: victory, justice, or revenge, not mentions a boatload of money just because a piece trembled in the carpet and staring at the open lockbox. Positive his flashlight so Griffin could see inside of it, careful not to touch the red-hot edges of the hole. He reached in to remove the safe contents from papers, handful of collectible coins. There, $300 in cash. All 5 teammate members raffled through the box. Everything had been removed from it. The Bambino was not there. Darren put up as a bing, you idiot, where's the card? He thought it was in here. Griffin shot back, almost too shocked upstairs. But Darren, I burn saying my health, that you should you're heading going to administration. The guy Swindle wanted to talk to us. Beat us up. Savannah admitted sadly, this isn't over. Griffin yelled from the auction house to pick up the card today somewhere else. This is just great, Darren. I nearly fell off the roof. There's a vicious dog chewing away at the door, and there's no card. How did it get worse? The doorbell rang. Her front pressed the second time. Ding dong. The house was dark. They had sworn the moment in the front door of his courtyard. Something delivered the items worth millions. All those people stand up. Could find him hours late. He rang a timer and tried to off the window. Was too familiar. Fighting his way through the cotton and wool struggle. Old tearing. Where am I? Feeling a Swindle's front bush was all around it. Oh no. The heist. They're shooting coming from across. There's hooting like an owl coming from across the street. Struggled to remember. Might mean into the signs. Would Logan be giving them an emergency signal? Would the answer a tail man letting himself through the front door? He pulled the walkie-talkie and pressed the button. Griffin, there's a guy coming into the house. We know, he whispered, replied. Is it Swindle? No, definitely not Swindle. He must come with his body. Okay, Swindle. Okay. He crept up the steps, peered through the side windows. The newcomer for Mr. Pulmonary. He called the comers. Mr. Pulmonary. He crossed the hall. I'll open the door, peered inside. What happened the next? Imagine horrifying. There remains something into Ben's memory. That's a lot of pages. Chapter 24. Hulking animal exploded out the front door. Pounced on the interrupter, terrified. The man swung his briefcase and cracked onto the German Shepherd. Request was not yelping with pain and rage. The dog fell back at instant. By the time he gathered itself together to charge, Hunter has high something across the road towards the men. Steps, slamming the door behind him and split. It's like in the Shepherd pounded into a hurling with fury. Re-injured. The sense knows he was and preparing for another run when it heard a bark from above. Brought the dog galloping up the stairs. Ben sounded the warning. Very all good at it, Griffin. All you had to hide, but no time hiding, even thinking. The rest trapped inside the master bedroom. The Shepherd in the doorway. The man is cutting. Stepped forward. The guy. It was the most soothing tone. You want to hurt anybody? We're all friends. Here, let's not get to with more Here's the road, and the monster leaped at her, and seeing Savannah in danger, Luther flung himself to the path of the attacking shepherd. Two dogs met. They were snarling, wrestling to the highest of their team, wasting no time getting Griffin out of the room, up the stairs, down the stairs. Griffin, half carrying Pitch. Ben meant the midway. There's a dog after you, isn't it, Luther? Quick, the kitchen. Where's Savannah? Dared wild eyes. Where are you? Whip up a souffle. Hey, I'm going to find something to distract me for hurting Luther. Nobody gave her an argument. Much larger shepherd, the Doberman, they hissing. Well, there was no quiet David lost Luther head was to protect Savannah. The team hit the main floor in the kitchen. Savannah ripped the freezer door and began rummaging for me. Any steaks? Ben asked hopefully. The dogs love steak. I can't find anything. So she lifted the infamous frozen turkey and dumped it on the tiles, and here, the midway across the couch, she came over. Griffin turned his heist mates over. In fact, no worries, the dog hearing his own face. Oh, sure. Nasty, obnoxious crook knows enough people willing to sit down and eat 20-pound turkey with him, and that will expected will climb. Ask why is it so cold? Suddenly he realized his knees were frozen. Bird reaching his hands to something. Tyrn was disgusted. I always knew you guys were crazy being. I thought you were the type. In answer, Griffin pulled out his Ziploc bag. There's a picture peering through the clear plastic paper in a Boston Red Sox uniform. Griffin pulled the shrink wrap off the T-bone steak and ran into the bottom of the staircase and flung to a top landing. And soon two dogs forgot about each other and started chewing on the cold, hard meat, removing the card from the Ziploc. Lovingly, it's the greatest moment of my life, yeah. Mine too, said Darren. Darren snatched the prize out of his hand and ran to the front door. Or so long, suckers. It was shocking and unexpected. Their team just stood there and watched them. Wild action, stamping into a hot pursuit. Even Pitch was running full time, hopping the wind through her pain. Griffin led to the charge of things he planned, all in case of what ifs. How could they overlook the possibility of double cross from his own people, especially Darren? He had an enemy worth to be. At a price for Darren pounded on the front steps. Griffin followed, losing his breath momentarily. Just a gust of wind. His friend heels back vault up the porch railing. Hurled himself like a flying squirrel down. Aaron felt feeling for him. He missed the takedown, but falling, his arm caught and ankles lost balance and hit the ground. All the time of bricks, the Babe Ruth card popped out of his hand. Suddenly, Bambino was airborne into a mammoth blast of wind, and the team watched an agonizing $1 million collectible fluttered higher and higher, swing through the turbulent air currents. When the wind praised for a few more seconds before depositing the lacy upper branch, it was a very tall maple tree. With a cry of frustration, Derek got up and rushed to the trunk and began climbing like a madman. Griffin turned to Pitch. No way, she said, reading your mind. With this ankle, I don't know what are you guys all lined up. Probably. She helped her hands over her mouth. There, and you'll never make it. What about the ladder? Ben suggested. Not high enough. Pitch told him that tree towers over the houses. Griffin was nearly insane. It's $1 million card. There must be some way to get it done. Dream on. Savannah was unhappily not useless. Got some miracle to reach the 40 feet up to pick up the tiniest thing on the branch and back down to safety. Shocked the realization. Griffin Bing's face was not like no other we had seen before. So yeah, I'm gonna leave off there.